Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 35 of Phoenix Wright, and we are going to start Rise from the Ashes. This is the case that is probably the longest in the entirety of the game. More importantly, if you're playing this on the Wii, you would be spending 100 Nintendo coins for this. If you're playing this on the GBA, your game is already over after Turnabout Goodbyes. Everywhere else, you're immediately whisked into this case. By the way, the HD version makes this murder scene look really fantastic. I mean, it is in super slow motion. It doesn't actually have the cartoon cutouts like in the last couple of parts. However, this case can be really long and really tedious. Needless to say, this opening cutscene is to believe, well, that is our unfortunate next client. However, this case picks up 2 months after Turnabout Goodbyes. Maya is no longer with us, and Phoenix Wright has not taken up a single case since, being undefeated no less. On that note, he barely even goes to work because he misses Maya. However, we meet his replacement, well, her replacement. I meant to say his psychic replacement, but we meet Maya's technical replacement for the entirety of this game. This right here is Lana Skye. Lana Skye is definitely important because this case revolves clearly around her backstory, and she ends up being a mainstay for the rest of the Phoenix Wright series. However, she only shows up in a couple of games, which unfortunately makes this forgettable case canon. And she also makes an appearance in Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, if not Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Her first assumption is that this was actually the office of Mia Fey, Mia Fey, sorry, but unfortunately Mia's dead, so Phoenix has taken over, and his fame actually comes from the fact that he actually uncovered one of the biggest scandals to ever exist, which is the DL6. This, unfortunately, what we're about to go through is something nowhere near as big, but it's longer and tedious. And because Emma gives off the same vibe as Maya, Phoenix decides to defend her, or rather defend her sister, who is about to go up the river for murder. Thing about Emma, she is a scientific investigator, investigator, sorry about that. I've been stuttering a lot. But anyway, she's practically forensics. And, well, she's training to be a forensics investigator. She is only 16, she's barely out of high school, and she's already good at forensics. In fact, the forensics that you're going to be using throughout this case will be taught to you by her. And here's one of the big gripes I have with this case. Some of the abilities learned from her happen to be taught at the end of this game. And unfortunately, doesn't carry over till at least the 3rd or 4th case of the second game, and doesn't carry over until, well, that also carries over to the last game in the series where it's actually used more, but in Justice for All, it's only used in the last 2 cases of the game. Basically speaking, Emma really didn't have much of a role here in the Phoenix Wright games, but she does come out and actually help whenever there's a need for forensics. So on that note, she will be responsible for a good number of mini games in this case that will more than likely be either time wasters or rather tedious if you're not good at what you're doing. Thankfully, I'm going to try to go through this whole entire ordeal as meticulously as possible. Because the thing is, the forensics is going to play a major role in breaking this investigation down and shedding some light as to who is the real killer, and more importantly, it will actually be used in trials, so there is that factor. And it just dawned on Emma that you're not Maya, and yeah, that's right, Mia I meant to say, and Mia is more of a woman's name. And right now she's having a little bit of emotional issues with her sister, despite the fact that she came to me to rescue her. Oh, speaking of her sister, we're about to meet Lana Skye. She's only going to be here for this case, considering the fact that this case revolves around her. And, Lana Skye is actually the chief prosecutor, which, truth be told, chief prosecutors are really damn powerful in this game. I've already brought up Blasey the Best, who happened to be a chief prosecutor in Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigation 2. However, Lana's a prominent name in the chief prosecutor's office, I meant to say, not chief investigator, but still. She actually looks like a soldier for one, but still, she has some pull despite being on trial. And we're gonna have to defend her eventually. The thing is, we'll have to actually get to the bottom of her whole entire story, which, let's be honest, is going to be exactly like Edgeworth. She is being accused of murder, and there's a good chance she didn't do it. This is one of those times where you actually have to give the client the benefit of the doubt, and sometimes it'll fail. So let's go on ahead and talk to Lana and see what we can get from her. After all, she can't just play cold hard. Sorry about that, folks. I had to get myself something to eat, and more importantly, something to drink, because I was rather parched. Even though I had to wake up, my body wanted sustenance as soon as I did. So on that note, I'm up. I just ate breakfast. I'm cool. However, Lana, despite the fact that she seems to be a regular lunch lady, has so much of a disdain for prosecutors that she calls them evil ones. I know I've already stated that she hated prosecutors, but God does she hammers that in. Her entire time giving her account is her saying how much she hates prosecutors and how much she wishes they would die. That's basically her whole entire shtick. Although there may be a reason to that. So, she, kinda rubs Angel the wrong way trying to defend prosecutors. That's one thing she's not tolerating. But one thing for sure, the dead body was found in one of Lana's subordinates' cars. I'm really not liking where this is going. And Angel happened to catch her trying to put said dead body into her subordinate's car and tried to apprehend Lana. But she also was there to witness Lana stab the guy in the trunk of the car. With a knife, no less. Now, this definitely does not look good for Lana. See, unlike Edgeworth, we couldn't really see what happened when he was on the boat with, ironically, Yanni Yogi. This time, Angel happened to catch Lana red-handed, and Angel tried her best to stop her. I guess she made a citizen's arrest, I suppose, because, well, she might not be a police officer, which begs the question, how does she apprehend her? But one thing's for sure, Angel has a tendency to hand over all of her box trays. One of which is trilobite, which that doesn't look like a trilobite, it's a flounder. I swear it's a goddamn flounder. But she also has a penchant of calling many people that she flirt with her boyfriends. Also, Emma has a penchant of writing useless things on her notepad. I forgot to mention that too. But she also mentioned something else. That the King of Prosecutors was also crowned, and unfortunately the King of Prosecutors was the one whose car was stuffed with the dead body. So on that note, we're gonna have to move on, because I do believe the next place we need to go to is the prosecutor's office. So on that note, we don't need to do anything else. But first, this is part of an achievement, by the way. You have to examine Phoenix's attorney badge. By the way, this would also make a certain someone's badge in Trial and Tribulations look, well, a little fake, if it ain't already. We'll worry about that when we get there. But that is the badge number for Phoenix Wright. And that is also an achievement, so we'll have no choice but to move to the High Prosecutor's office. Oh no. Is that who I think it is? Aw, shit. Well, ladies and gents, if that's who I think it is, well, he just got framed again. See you guys next time in part 36. I hate this case.